guys are in the same house though, but different spaces.
Hi, Miss Delaney.
Same room.
Look at Miss Delene's fantastic new haircut.
Got a haircut.
Ooh, sassy.
Thank you, thank you. Hi,
Got a cool
everybody.
attitude going on with her hair.
Hi, Kelton.
I'm actually planning to get mine tomorrow.
Hi,
after the
Isaac.
orthodontist appointment. Hello.
Oh.
Let's see, are the Long brothers still in their old house or a new house? Kelton, have you been able to move yet, or are you guys still in your old house?
We are still in our old house.
All right, I'm getting excited for you guys.
Miss
Hey, Brett.
Deline. Oh. Miss Deline, how many spotlights can we have today?
As many as you want.
I
Yeah.
have so many.
Good, because it's the last day. It's the day. Today's the day.
Good.
It's not the last day, but we're counting it as the day.
The last spotlight day.
It's the last spotlight day. Yes.
Hi, Addie. Hi, Ella. Oh no, Katie. Katie, you're pretending to be Ella. They're starting to mess with us. Hi, Acer. Hi, Miss Corwin. Hi, Kieran.
There's so many people here. I'm so excited.
Hi, Antonia. Yeah. Thanks for organizing this.
Yeah.
Hi, Amanda.
We'll see how it goes.
It's gonna go great.
Oh, I'm sure. And we're recording, just so you know, you're all being recorded right now.
Oh no. Don't pick your nose or anything. That would be embarrassing.
Hi, Lisa and Mia. Amanda and Al, Indigo. Yeah, and everybody's here. Getting here.
So I'm going to go ahead and start a song, kind of like we would do as we wait for everybody to come into Community Circle, and it'll give us some time. It will also kind of connect to our sharing. So let's see. It'll just give us a few minutes while everybody shows up. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen.
So, Miss Deline, we can't hear any music.
It hasn't started yet.
Oh, there we go. Okay, I'll be quiet now.
Hey y'all. Wait. I know you think I got it all figured out, 'cause I walk around like my head's in the clouds, but I'm just a boy with his heart pouring out of his head. I wish that you could see the pain that I've seen and all of the times I spent being not me. I hope you know that it's not always happy in my head, 'cause I don't know the perfect road to go down, but I know I'm trying my best. I'm trying my best to be okay. I'm trying my best, but every day it's so hard. And I'm holding my breath. I'm holding my breath till I can say all of the words I want to say. From my If you really want it, I can let you inside. It's been so long and I've got nothing left to hide. Would you believe me if I told you that I've got flaws? Now it's time to let the curtains unfold and tell all the stories that I didn't want told. I let it out so I unburden my soul. I won't stop, 'cause I don't know the perfect road to go down, but I know I'm trying my best. I'm trying my best to be okay. I'm trying my best, but every day it's so hard. And I'm holding my breath. I'm holding my breath till I can say all of the words I want to say from my heart. I'm trying my best. I'm trying my best to be okay. I'm trying my best, but every day it's so hard. And I'm holding my breath. I'm holding my breath till I can say all of the words I want to say from my heart.
Okay, is everybody here? I feel like everybody's here now. Okay, so just keep that in mind, that hashtag trying my best, and we'll come back to it for our sharing. But for our greeting, what we're going to do is I'm going to give you a little bit of thinking time. And I'm gonna count 1, 2, 3, and everybody is going to hold up some type of hand gesture as a way of a greeting. So you could do, heart hands, you could do, rock on, whatever, you could wave, and then I'm going to screenshot. It's gonna take me 2 times because now there's so many people here that we have 2 screens of people. So let's see how many people are on the second page. Woo, lots of people. Okay. So think of your hand gesture, make it appropriate. And I'm gonna count to 3. I'm gonna do 2 screens. So I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, and then I'm gonna switch screens and I'll go 1, 2, 3 to capture everybody. All right, is everybody ready? Okay, 1, 2, 3. Give me a second. There's 1. And there's 2. Awesome. So that's our greeting this morning. Okay, so our sharing is thinking about that song. Was people sharing a challenge that they have overcome or are trying their best to overcome. And I want you to think of a challenge that you faced. I'm not going to narrow it necessarily to distance learning or the lockdown or the global pandemic. It can be outside of that if you want, but I know a lot of us have faced challenges in a bunch of different places in our life. And so I just want you to think about a challenge that you have overcome or are trying your best to overcome. And we're gonna put it in the chat box first, just as a way for everybody to share. And then once you're done kind of sharing your challenge, go ahead and read through what everybody else wrote. And then a few people will share out either their challenge or the connection they have to somebody and the challenge they've shared. Does anybody have any clarifying questions about what we're kind of putting in the chat box? I'll also put the prompt in there. Okay, so go ahead and think of what challenge have you overcome or trying your best to overcome, and share it in the box. So what we'll do is we'll give this a shot. We have a lot of people in our community Zoom meeting today. So if you want to share your challenge or connect to somebody else's challenge, I'm just gonna open it up. Unmute yourself and feel free to share. And then if you kind of hear that two people are talking, just kind of share that space. Okay, we'll give it a shot. So anybody want to share?
Well, my challenge is that I have a distinct lack of motivation for a lot of things, including schoolwork, because of just staying home. It makes me feel a bit like I don't have to do anything.
Thanks for sharing that. Anybody else?
Hello, can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
I've been feeling a lot of emotional restriction lately due to a lot of my family members recently going to the hospital, and one even passed away a few weeks ago. And there's just a lot going on with people, and we know that many of, especially like grandparents, aren't going to make it out of this alive. And it's been pretty rough to be going through that right now.
I'd like to lift up something that Bryce shared. I see that Bryce says he's having to help the new foster kids and to learn how they're feeling about living with us. And I just think this is like such a big moment in Bryce's family, but also it shows such empathy from you, Bryce, that you're really trying to put yourself in their shoes and understand what it feels like for them to be in your home.
Anybody else want to share? I see you connecting in the chat box too, so that's a good way to connect to one another too. Okay, we'll go ahead and move forward, but feel free to keep connecting in the chat box as we move forward. So we are going to watch another video as our activity, and it is a tribute to Robin Williams, and he's going to talk, there's clips, personal quotes from him, and also clips from movies he's been in. And as you're watching the video, I want you to be thinking about a connection between the challenge that you shared and maybe a lesson or a motivational phrase that you can carry with you that can either help you continue to overcome or maybe just kind of keep with you as challenges continue to show up. Okay, all right, so here we go.
By the time you see this, I'll be dead. I'll make this as simple as I can. What's wrong with death, sir? What are we so mortally afraid of? Why can't we treat death with a certain amount of humanity and dignity and decency and, God forbid, maybe even humor? Death is not the enemy, gentlemen. If we're going to fight a disease, let's fight one of the most terrible diseases of all, indifference. We're all dying, Truman. Our job is to increase health. You know what that means? That means improving the quality of life, not just delaying death. Now, you asked me if I've been practicing medicine. Well, if this means opening your door to those in need, those in pain, caring for them, listening to them, applying a cold cloth until a fever breaks, if this is practicing medicine, if this is treating a patient, then I am guilty as charged, sir. Transference is inevitable, sir. Every human being has an impact on another. That's why you treat a disease, you win, you lose. You treat a person, I guarantee you'll win, no matter what the outcome. Gather ye rosebuds while ye may. The Latin term for that sentiment is carpe diem. Who knows what that means? Seize the day. Gather ye rosebuds while ye may. Why does the writer use these lines? Because we are food for worms, lads. Because believe it or not, each and every one of us in this room is one day stop breathing, turn cold, and die. The world is their oyster. They believe they're destined for great things. Just like many of you, their eyes are full of hope. Just like you. Did they wait till it was too late to make from their lives even one iota of what they were capable of? And I know you hate your job and you don't have many friends. I know sometimes you feel a little uncoordinated and you don't feel as wonderful as everybody else. And feeling as alone and separate as you feel you are. And I think you're the greatest thing since sliced rice. The universe at its essence, every element has its place in it. You can't change that. They're secure, no matter what. You see what I mean? You got to be crazy. It's too late to be sane. Too late. You got to go full tilt, Bozo. Because you're only given a little spark of madness. If you lose that, nothing. How kind is it to give life, only to take it away again? What's true in our minds is true. Whether some people know it or not. Just keep going. Find that thing you love because it's tough work. But I think if you can find that thing that really gives you joy, that'll be it. Losing it? Pushed it right to the edge. So I had to come out now. Tell you, I'm giving up. Just not the way you think. Sometimes when you win, you lose.
Okay. So we're going to do the activity the same way we did the sharing. We'll give everybody a chance to write in the chat box your connection, either a phrase that stood out to you, thinking about that challenge that you shared, what words stood out to you that you could maybe carry forward as a motivation to overcome that challenge. Okay, so we just take, and then we'll have a few people share out the same way we did. Okay. You guys have made some pretty powerful connections and lifted up some really amazing phrases. I see a lot of you like the keep your madness. I think that's an important lesson to learn, right? For not if I think it's Acer if you're not a little crazy, then you're nothing. I think that's true for all of us. So does anybody have any connections to either what somebody else wrote, or they want to share why those words meant something to them? Don't make me cold call you, I will. Just kidding, I won't. But I would love to hear your thinking. Okay, that's okay, we don't have to share. I know it's early in the morning, that's fine. I'm still on my coffee, so. Okay, now it is time for you to share though, because the sharing an activity that we did is grounded in our design principle this month, which is primacy of self-discovery. In last week's community circle on beginnings and endings, I mentioned that when something ends, something else begins, and it's always a good time to think about what you've discovered about yourself. And so that's kind of where that came from, even though it's like pretty deep. It's a pretty deep reflection on facing our challenges and thinking about what we've learned from them. So with that, let's get into some spotlights and hear about the good work that we've done. And I hope to hear a lot about how you've lifted each other up. Okay, Miss Boyson, I know you can start us off.
Sorry, I'm texting with a parent to try to get some more kids in here.
Okay.
Can I pass it?
Yeah, you can pass it.
I'm going to pass it to Andrika.
Okay.
Well, I'll just start with one, getting started to get the juices flowing, and then you can come back to me again. So the first one that came to mind was actually Acer for responsibility. And throughout this entire remote learning, I've really appreciated how much Acer has he's been in constant communication about questions, and so many of the questions that he had, his crewmates also had, and by him asking those, then it got answered, and it helped make the online classroom learning a little more clear, I think. And so I just wanted to thank him. It's kind of, yeah, responsibility, if not, now I'm leaning back on the old crew, but old courage. Because I know that all the emailing that had to be done was hard to get used to, rather than just being able to talk to your teachers. I'll pass it to whoever wants to go next.
I think Katie and Bryce both had raised their hand. Do one of you want to go next? Bryce, do you want to go? Okay, Katie, how about you?
Well, I have a spotlight.
Great.
Well, my spotlight is on all the middle school, and probably all of the fifth through kindergarten people too. That we've all been working online, and this is something new. And we've all stayed strong and tried to learn something new. So, and that we've kept going.
Thanks, Bryce.
Okay, I know that 7th graders are going to have to go soon. So I have one that involves a 7th grader, and two. One, all middle school students, I'm spotlighting you for the primacy of self-discovery, because you have learned new things about yourselves. and learn new ways to engage in school and to organize yourself. Even if you haven't felt very successful or motivated, you have all been working really hard to try to find your way, and I am so proud of each of you. So let's just celebrate everyone. And then I have a family spotlight. I'm spotlighting Jackson and the rest of my family for service and compassion, because they have been really patient and kind to me in the midst of all of this adjustment to me being at home and available, but not really available. Oh, sorry, Ben, it was eighth graders. I thought it was the seventh graders that had a meeting with Greg after this. Thanks for keeping me straight. Okay, then eighth grader ones. I don't think Trifina's here, but I wanted to spotlight her for responsibility for learning. And that's because I've just seen her really shine and show, new skills and habits in order to engage in school. So celebrate Trifina. And then Mona and Haley, I am celebrating you for collaboration. You two decided to make your lives more complicated than they needed to be by collaborating on your character confessional. And it was such a good choice, and all your hard work really showed. Every one of these final confessionals that the eighth graders are doing has just been so funny and engaging and smart and well done. So to highlight these two doesn't take away from the fact that like everyone did a fantastic job, but these two really went for it, and they put in a lot of time figuring out how to do a collaborative presentation in Zoom, and I'm just so proud of them. So good job.
I have one.
Great.
I want to spotlight Camus because for the crew trait of compassion, because she, it's very difficult to communicate with other people during this time. And during this time, we have been daily almost communicating and spending lots and lots of time communicating and just being there for each other. And it's really been helpful to have someone that I can rely on and always feel safe with telling something. And I really appreciate everything that you do, Camus.
I think she spotlighted you too, Ella, in the chat for the same thing. That's awesome. I'm glad you guys stayed connected. Any other specifically eighth graders, since you guys have to go soon?
Oh, we're going to mass next, and if we need a couple extra minutes here, that's just fine.
Okay, thanks, Miss Corwin.
Sure thing.
I would like to spotlight the eighth graders. I was sort of perplexed as to like where this fell. And I decided that I think I need to spotlight the eighth graders for success and failure. And it's not really a success or failure on behalf of like them directly. It's kind of an indirect. But I do think this whole ending the year this way in terms of not being at school, having to cancel so many really important, what felt like were going to be milestones for eighth grade. Some people could look at that as a real fail, right? Like we did not get to do all the things that are really important and special in eighth grade, and for you guys to have time together as you head off into high school. And yet the success part of that is I do feel like eighth graders have, and this is true for really all middle schoolers, except that sixth and seventh graders don't quite have the same level of milestones in this year, but really handled the disappointment and the, I'll call it disappointment and the change of plans. You guys have handled it with a lot of grace, and I think ultimately still done a great job of be ready to play this year. And so if then you feel like maybe you've turned the tables a little bit on this really big disappointment, and hopefully it's still like
I can't hear anything.
in your pocket.
Oh yeah, Miss Cooley, we missed about the last half. Something was muffling your speaker.
The wind's blowing. I have to be outside because my inside's too.
That's much better.
Okay, so what I was saying is I was spotlighting the eighth graders for success and failure, and the fail part of that was just the level of disappointment from having so many important things canceled, and yet the success part was, I think, maybe developing a new set of skills, both for remote learning, but also just really handling this all with a lot of grace.
Any others? Okay, so in the interest of time, I'm going to keep going. I will leave a little bit of time for anybody who wants to stick around for all those extra spotlights that I know you have in your head, you just won't share yet. So I'll leave some time. But because we have Zoom meetings coming up, couple things. One, in news and announcements, today is middle school lunch at noon. It's completely your time to hang out with each other. Last week was kind of cool. We're just there, one, to open the meeting for you, and two, just to kind of supervise, just like we would in the cafeteria, but it's your time to do with it what you want. Last week, whoever was there played a game, and I think we got to watch Ty do a cooking class, which was pretty fun. So if you want to come to that, it's at noon. The link is in the crew class. Of course, our eighth graders are graduating tomorrow. Yay! And then on the last day of school at 2:30 to 3:15, we're having an Inside Out parade. If you haven't heard about this already, the teachers are going to be in the parking lot with music and some of us dressed up, decorate our cars just to wave hello and goodbye as you come through the parking lot. So 2:30 to 3:15, that's also posted in a variety of places on Friday. Okay, I think that's all the news announcements I have. And to end this, we're going to do,
Locker cleanout.
Locker cleanout is when?
Saturday and Monday, isn't that right, Rebecca?
Is pickup time. So we're cleaning out your lockers for you.
What question?
Yes.
What if you just so happen to be driving to Oregon for the summer then?
Then what you should do, and your mom already got a message about this, just contact the office and you can schedule a time after you guys get back. So your parents will be sending out information, but essentially families will come to school, and that's when they drop off your Chromebooks or any school materials that you have, calculators from the math room. So you want to look at books from our library. I know some people have classroom books from like my personal books that you've borrowed. So think about what belongs to school. Then your families will bring those to school and drop them off, and then they can pick up anything from your lockers. You won't be allowed to go to your lockers. We'll clean it out. And same thing with some work from the classrooms. That includes 8th grade student-led conference binders.
Okay, just one final spotlight. I want to spotlight Miss Deline. I'm probably going to cry, but that's okay. Miss Deline, I am spotlighting you for the having of wonderful ideas, because since the moment that this school opened, you have devoted yourself to coming up with good ideas to support students and your colleagues. You have been a cheerleader for me on my hardest days. And you have helped me to learn my strengths as a teacher. And I know that you're going to take that gift with you as you go, but it is one that's going to keep on blessing this school and all of the people that you've worked with far beyond your leaving. We're really going to miss you. And thank you for helping us to end this year well.
Now I'm crying.
I'm not crying, you're crying.
Thank you, Poison. I will miss you all greatly as well. On that note, we're going to end this on with something a little bit silly. It's difficult to sing all together on Zoom, but we do need to celebrate all our summer birthdays and April, May, June, and July. So if you have a birthday in any of those months, see the little reaction button at the bottom of your screen. Go ahead and give us like a wave or something that shows that it's your birthday. And I'm going to screen share a birthday song, a very special birthday song that Miss Renee Hill and Mr. Greg Pierce wrote just for all those people who celebrated their birthday during lockdown. So give me a second to screen share.
What button do you press?
There's a little reactions button at the bottom, like where the chat box is. If you don't have it, that's fine. You can just kind of like, it's my birthday, whatever you want to do. And I'm going to share this song with you.
I am about to read the blog so I know what.
Well, it makes me think of the good old days before the lockdown, when sharing germs was no big deal. Before the lockdown, it's my birthday, I'll celebrate alone. No help, no wealth, only friends on the phone. I guess I'll eat this cake alone. Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday to me.
All right. Happy birthday, everybody that is celebrating during lockdown. I know it's not easy. All right, middle school, that's all I have for our first and last Zoom community circle. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day and a great last week and an awesome summer. Hopefully you get to do some of the things that you love to do. All right. Feel free to stay here if you want to do more spotlights or just chat with people. Other than that, a lot of you have class, so get to class. Bye, middle school.
There they all go.